A year ago in the divisional round, the Kansas City defense had a great plan and even better execution against the Andrew Luck-led Colts offense.
Yeah, right.
Different kind of challenge this divisional weekend against Deshaun Watson and company.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first off, Deshaun Watson, we know he's one of the best players in the league. The Houston Texans, you know, they have some weapons at their disposal in the pass game that are always scary. You know, I'll always say, this guy right down here, number 15, Will Fuller, he's like vital to their success as an offense. Expected to play, which is huge. Because the Texans are not an offense where I go, oh, wow, these are unbelievable schematic plays that are really screwing over the defense. No, they have all good plays. They got a lot of the meat and potatoes you want for your offense. I'm not saying anything. But they rely a little bit more on just going, man, he's really good, number 4. Number 10, Hopkins is good. 15, Fuller's good. And Kenny Stills is really good too. And we're just going to be aggressive, and Watson will make some big throws down the field. But my big point with this picture right here, and this was a game-winning throw right here early in the season between the Texans and the Chiefs. Basically what happened here on a 4th down, okay, and you could see it's about a 3-yard, 4th and 3, somewhere in that range. This is one of the bread and butter plays for the Houston Texans. And anytime you see Hopkins in the slot in an empty formation or anywhere here close to the tackle, anything like that, they're trying to get the ball to him. Hands down. Every time. Some sort, some way. And more times than not, when they get in these formations, it's going to be boom and something like that. And if you cut this off completely with somebody there, it's boom, and then he comes back out this way. So he has a two-way go to where he's almost never wrong, right? And on this specific play, 4th and 3, this is what happens. He goes boom and like that. Now, where Watson throws the ball right here, boom, 1st down, game over. Houston pulls off the upset against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Now, within this, I hope Kansas City doesn't play defense this way this game, because you got to be able to, and Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs have showed recently they're very creative on the defensive side of the ball, Paul. They do some really good stuff, and they will double team. Like when they played New England, they double team Julian Edelman and James White. And certain situations and down and distances, they will take a little bit of that Bill Belichick, like, you know, theme we've always talked about. He'll take away your strength.
There was no 1A in the form of Will Fuller, though, in those games.
No, you're right. There was not. So that's going to cause some problems, certainly. But number 10 is the first guy you got to worry about. And on this play, like I said, he runs a slant. So let's go to the next picture. We'll show it, all right? Next picture, there it is. You know, he kind of pushes upfield. You're not sure which way he's going to go, boom or boom. He knows there's nobody in the middle of the field, and whenever he has nobody in the middle of the field, that means he's taking the middle of the field. And here you could see, like, Tyrann Mathieu went into the line of scrimmage, and I think he's supposed to get back and get underneath this, but is not there in time, because you could see Deshaun Watson already is loading up to throw the football. And if we go to the next clip, all right, the next clip, or that might be the last one. I can't even remember. That's the last one. All right, so that's it. Bam. So now, I just like to go back to the first picture. The first picture, what do they got to do differently? Well, I hope in this game, this time, if this something like this, he's got to get out of here right away and be like, all right, hey, you know, you're covering Hopkins, that's great, but you got help on the inside, so you don't have to bite on anything inside. So then there you got somebody to break. If he breaks outside, you got him bracketed. You got to play those type of plays. And with the Houston Texans, they love posts and deep crossers or anything high-low with DeAndre Hopkins on this week's side. They will do, okay, you run an in-cut, DeAndre, Will Fuller underneath, you run a little option route. And they just basically put zone defenders in a bind to go, do you want to go up to him, or do you want to stay back and cover DeAndre Hopkins? And then Watson makes the right decision. The other thing you got to be worried about is, okay, tight end blocks, right? He blocks. He got a 6-man protection. And, you know, they might go, boom, he runs a deep cross. This guy runs a deep post, and then they keep Hopkins, and he comes across the field this way. It's one of their bread and butter plays. And Watson's one of the best deep ball throwers in the sport. So you just always got to be prepared, not for DeAndre Hopkins. One, because a lot of the play design is for him. Two, Watson went in trouble like Brady with Gronk. If he's in trouble, he's looking for 10. He's going, where's 10? I don't care if he's covered or not covered. I can still throw to this guy when he is covered, and he'll make catches. So they find ways to get him the ball no matter what it may be. And this is an empty set here, but, yeah, there's just so many different things they do, whether Fuller comes off and runs an out route, and then he'll come up the field and run a deeper out route. And when you're in a zone defense, it puts you in a bind again because you're going, all right, what do I do if I'm a zone corner? Who do I go after, this guy or this guy? And then Watson throws a laser out there, and then you got to make the tackle or defend the pass.
And this has been all about the passing game. And if Houston goes to Kansas City and wins again, it'll be led by the passing game. And, this guy here and these two down here. But what role, as kind of a backup, does the running game play for Houston?
Well, you're right. We probably should have started there because that's what won them this game. They ran the ball on Kansas City, controlled the clock, Carlos Hyde, everything about that. Now, where it's different this time around, this Kansas City defense has gotten a lot better since this first matchup. Well, I just feel like Spagnuolo settled into what his talent was on his defense and knowing how to utilize them. They probably got more comfortable with the scheme, so they've been able to get a little more advanced with certain coverages, blitzes, disguises, to where he's not like, hey, everybody knows what they're doing now. This was early in the season. He might have been being a little basic or elementary, right? So it's really gotten more expansive as far as what they call on the defensive side of the ball and their disguises. The other thing is Kansas City's big up front, and they're healthy right now. I don't believe Chris Jones even played in this first matchup. So they have great size to be able to stop. Now, Houston, it's not an overly complex running scheme, but they will do a lot of inside zone. So let's just say, just for sake, let's say Will Fuller's not here, all right, and Carlos Hyde, who's 23, right? I'm pretty sure. Yep. Let's just say he's right there. What they love to do is run inside zone where, okay, you push him out, you push him out, you push him out, you push him out. Everybody kind of he might go in and get a inside backer or something like that, and then the tight end comes behind the line of scrimmage and kicks out whoever's left, and he presses front side. If there's a hole, great, but then if there's not, he cuts it back in there somewhere to find another gap. Their running game, they stay consistent with it. They're pretty good at run blocking, but I do think this is a different Kansas City defense.
You've also described it to me as a patient run attack. It is. Patient with the way they call plays or patient with the way 23 does it?
He does I'm always impressed by Bill O'Brien. There they were last week in the Bills game, down 16-0.
Still running.
And he was still running it. And that, to me, is big. Because it makes defenses have to get up in the line of scrimmage. They worry about that, and it creates one-on-one matchups with these receivers who are pretty special.
Kansas City's offense will have a number of ways to put pressure on that Texans defense this weekend at Arrowhead. They saw him play in mid-October when they got together there in Kansas City. How's the offense changed or evolved since that last meeting?
Well, I think, Kansas City is a little more versatile on the offensive side of the ball. Mahomes gets underneath center. I think at this point of the year still, Kansas City was in 2018, this offense was great, but teams are starting to catch on to it a little bit, and they have evolved with Mahomes underneath the center, more of a short passing game to go to when you do take away the deep passes. So they're a little more surgical that way, a little more patience on offense as compared to last year where you were just like, zoom, 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 and he's throwing bombs all over the field. Now, they're still going to do that, and that's where they put pressure on you. I mean, hey, their go-to stuff really more times than not is, go route, him running a deep cross, this guy running a cross, or this guy running a deep post out here, Tyreek running across, then maybe Kelsey underneath with Sammy Watkins running a deeper cross like that. They have a million different ways to do stuff like that. They are masters at it, and they put pressure on you, of course, because Mahomes can throw. Those guys are fast, and then you get backed off, and, oh, no, they all went deep and ran this, and okay, whoa, we got it all covered. Oh, man, they threw a screen inside to the running back, and now you're screwed over. So they make you defend the whole field, and that's where they're great. And on this specific play, hey, the Texans, they're playing man-to-man. This is when teams are starting to go, well, what? I think we could play man against Kansas City because it's a lot of those routes I just showed you. And I think teams are starting to go, hey, expect this route, expect that route in this formation. And they kind of got a feel to leave people one-on-one and feel comfortable about it. That's what the Colts did when they upset Kansas City at home a few weeks later and all of that. So on this play specifically, okay, when you play man-to-man like this, first off, you're playing with fire against this group, because if this guy misses a jam on Tyreek Hill, forget it.
Like, is it a bad idea to try and play?
Well, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just say don't be overly aggressive at the line of scrimmage and try to I'm going to jam Tyreek Hill right at the line of scrimmage. You're not going anywhere, because as soon as he does that and you miss, it's like you're not catching him. It's gone. That's right. And the other thing they do when you have a look like this, where linebackers are up in the line of scrimmage, as you see here, trying to cover, well, they have their ways of picking you too. And that's where they're scary. So on this play specifically, there's two answers to this play. There's one, this right here, where this is like in the West Coast scheme, we would call it a sail route. This is a sail route, a sail concept, where if this was 3 deep zone, he's going to go 1 to 2, then to somebody under here as his check down. But this is man-to-man right here, and all week he was told if they play man-to-man, we like this play, the concept up top, because we feel like we can screw over the Texans. And what they do is they run a pick play without it really being a pick play. Kelsey's going to run a deeper cross route, all right? And then Sammy Watkins is going to run shallow cross. But they're being taught within that, find the guy who's playing Damian Williams man-to-man, all right? And try to run into him. Try to make him redirect or make a decision. Oh, I got to go underneath that guy, or I almost spelled that. Or I got to go underneath that guy, whatever it may be. So what they do, Damian Williams then comes out and runs up the sidelines, and they end up picking it. And let's go to the next picture so we can really see it. So here, 37, and let's go back. Go back 1 second to the first picture again, because the guy covering Damian Williams, and I didn't point that out all the way, is right here. He is covering this guy man-to-man, all right? So now let's go to picture number 2. And when you go to picture number 2, that guy I just circled, look who he's run into. Somehow Travis Kelce found him.
Tackled accidentally.
Right.
Yeah.
So Travis Kelce can run, and I'm running my route, and I hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I mean, the guy was pushing me and whatever. And it's hard as a ref to be able to say, oh, that was a pick play, because he is trying to run a route, but he's also trying to find the guy covering Damian Williams. And as you can see right here, okay, it's great coverage there. It's great coverage there. But Damian here on the outside already has space, and you can see who number 15 is looking at already down the sidelines. Now go to the next picture, all right? And this is welcome to Scroodesville, all right? You're screwed, defense, sorry. And you can see, and this, I might be wrong, this might have been Darrell Williams, number 31. It looks like that's who it is on the screen here, but it's a Williams regardless. And he is wide open downfield for an easy completion, and he's going to run all the way down here before he's pushed out by everybody. But that's the mind they put you in. They're very good now at staying a little more patient than we've seen Andy Reid running with the ball.
Which you were asking for when Matt Moore was playing.
I was, yes.
Right?
Right. And I like them underneath the center, too, because, underneath the center, as we've learned this year from a number of the really good teams, it creates play action. And play action's the best way in football to get big, explosive plays down the field. They've been doing that more, but they keep the pressure on you, one, because they got speed and talent, and they got a quarterback who's got one of the greatest arms we've ever seen, and then they make you defend the whole field and every square inch of it. Like whether it's they send everybody deep and throw a screen out in the flat, either way, there's no area on this field when you play Kansas City where you can go, they don't really like to attack this area. We can void it.
Right.
There's other offenses in football you could find and go, ooh, if we just drop everybody in between the hashes and the numbers, this team likes to throw it there and we'll be okay. But you can't do that against this group. They're too talented. Mahomes is too good. Andy Reid has too many plays. And the Texans' pass defense has been an issue this year. Their front four has got to play great. Merciless, J.J. Watt, if they can't get to Mahomes a few times without blitz, just four-man rush, I think it'll be a long day for Houston, because if they start blitzing and having to do that, I don't think they can match up with these guys in the back end.
Sounds like they ought to play more zone than man.
I think you got to be careful. You got to play zone and then dabble in man in certain situations or personnel sets where you go, all right, it's 3rd and 4. They might run one of those short routes that could pick apart our zone. We might have to play some sort of man coverage here to take that away and make a throw tight. Maybe we can get a batted ball down, whatever it may be.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.